Good morning, delivery fam, and welcome back to another episode of Breakfast with UDM on the Life of a Gig Worker podcast. Now, in this episode, DoorDash is making a bunch of changes in 2025, and including the zones that drivers are working. But I have a driver that is going to share his experience in that within those changes in 2025, right? This driver goes by the name of Tyler. Tyler, what's up, bro? Talk to me. How you doing?
Living life.
Yeah. How long have you been a dasher before we get into anything?
Originally started back in 2018, did it for about a year, and then I kind of fell off the app, and then within the last year, I got back on and started hitting the ground heavy again. I've got probably around 2,700 deliveries under my belt by now.
Okay. All right. So, you said what year did you start?
Back in 2018.
2018, and you only have 2,700. Are you a severe cherry picker?
No, it wasn't even that. It's at the time I was more focused on doing rideshare. Like I initially
Oh,
got into the gig economy back in 2016 and I was doing Lyft driving at the time. And then of course transitioned into like I've done Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats, pretty much every app that's come out within the gig economy I've done. It's just a matter of if something caught on and piqued my interest. And back then, rideshare was more profitable than the food delivery.
but are things changing now?
Yeah. Yeah. Food delivery and just everything logistics wise with food delivery, it's more profitable than rideshare.
Okay. All right. So you reached out to me about some things on Discord as far as like some changes that DoorDash is making with some zones and stuff. And I really would love to hear your experience in within those changes that DoorDash made. But first, you also shared an email with me. I'm going to read that email now, okay?
Okay.
First thing it says, we're testing some changes to zone shapes. So if your zone looks a little different, that's expected. We've changed the shape of your zone to better reflect where offers typically happen in your area. What's changing? We've updated the zone to focus more on areas with the most activity. This means your zone is now centered around where offers are most likely to happen, helping you stay closer to the action where you when you dash. Okay. All right, I see you. Let's go to the next one. What you need to do. Just keep dashing as usual. If you don't see the dash now option anymore, you will see dash along the way, which you can select to head towards your usual zone. What the you're out of the zone banner means and why you might see it more often. You might notice the you're out of the zone banner more during this test. This banner doesn't mean anything is wrong. It's just a reminder that you'll get offers faster when you're inside the zone. And the last screenshot of this email is, why are we testing this change? By updating zone shapes to better reflect where offers typically happen, we're hoping to make dashing more efficient by reducing the time dashers spend waiting for offers. Now tell me, I really would like to hear what this experience is like for you in your area, because I don't have this in the South Florida area. On
So
the East Coast, I should say.
from what I've seen, they've gone through and kind of adjusted with how the mapping is. To me, from what it looks like, is they've set it up more to be in line where all the restaurants are. If the restaurants are there, that's where they've built the zones, and they've kind of cut out more of what was the original zones. Like back where I live, down in Northport, the whole backside of the city pretty much got cut out of the mapping compared to what it was before. And then Sarasota, with how they have it set up now, with all the way up to the airport up there, used to be Sarasota. Now they switched that into being Bradenton, and they've cut out a lot more of the stuff past the interstate, pretty much. So you're ending up outside of the zone more in that regard.
So is this more of a positive thing? Because I know you also shared some screenshots with me as to what it used to look like versus what it looks like now. But are there some positives, some negatives that, from your perspective?
Um, I can see two different ways. I also have another theory on it, is that it's possibly another way to alleviate having a massive influx of drivers compared to orders. So if they have orders going out of the zone, it opens up other drivers being able to get orders, because that other driver is going to have to work to get back to the zone before they end up getting orders. But at the same time, like I took a couple orders tonight that took me out of the zone. And I would say within 2 miles of being back into the zone, I got sent orders both times. And I mean, they turned out to be positive orders, but it was just weird because for the first like 4 or 5 days that I've seen this, I wasn't getting any orders if I was outside of the zone. But tonight I was getting orders with being outside of the zone.
Now, from my perspective, I have never, well, I'll never say never, but whenever I'm outside of the zone with the current situation that I have with my zones in my area, they don't look like these zones that I'm about to show in a minute. I never get orders heading back to the zone. So do you think if this were to come to my area, would you think my experience would change, or would it be more of the same experience because I'm now working my way back?
I think in a way you probably at the beginning, because I think also part of it is with the new zones being set up, the algorithm might have to learn your motions and like where you work. Pretty much for me,
Mm,
I switch between like 4 and 5 zones. So much like AI, it might be learning real time like your patterns
hmm
and adjusting how it's doing things from there.
That is crazy. But for those that are wondering what these zones look like, I'm gonna share it on the screen now. And this almost feels like a news reporting type of thing. You got cars going on in the background behind you. This looks like like, oh, reporting now. In what you want to let everyone know what city you're in, or no?
I'm in Sarasota right now.
Reporting live from Sarasota, Florida. We have Tyler reporting about these new zones on DoorDash. All right. So this is what the typical zone used to look like, and this is what my zones look like in my area. They're very bulky. They're very wide. It's almost like, it's one big blob of red, right? All up and down that West Coast there. But now, this is what the zones look like. And seeing this now, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it, Tyler. I'm just being honest with you. Like, the one on the left, you see that you're out of the zone. And when you were there, obviously you were working because you see the hot spots and stuff like that. Did you get another order? Do you recall? Because you had that one dash for 1025. Did you get another order like going back, or you didn't? You did?
At that point, it was a Chinese restaurant. I was within like 2 miles of the Chinese restaurant. It was right on the fringe line of the zone. And I actually got an order at that point that brought me back into the zone. And then it brought me a little further out. And then I had another order that took me right back out of the zone.
So there's a lot of zoning, a lot of back and forth to the zones, going back and forth. Okay, so what about in the right picture? Because I have worked in Bradenton, I've worked in Sarasota as well, but I did more Uber over there than DoorDash, right? So when I say Uber, I mean Uber Eats, before people start thinking that I did rideshare, and I don't do rideshare. Right?
You ain't tough enough for that.
Yeah. Right? So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, so I see how it's like those nearby zones of Sarasota. I can't really point at it, but that borderline between the Bradenton zone and the Sarasota, like, what would that be like? Would it try to send you over into that zone as well? Like like it would typically do now and say like, hey, it's busier over here, so go over here?
Yeah, because you'll have up on the easiest way to put it, University Parkway
Mm-hmm.
is like the last major stretch of road between both Sarasota and Bradenton
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And with UP, that's where the airport's at.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll have a lot of people up in Bradenton that'll be ordering from the restaurants on UP. So you'll have multiple times where it'll be trying to pull you all the way up and stuff, pretty much in the direction of, say, like where you would know like IMG and all that. You'll have
Yeah.
a lot of orders that'll be going up that way. So I think also in a way they're trying to pull more of a balancing act. Say if that zone's down drivers and they really need them, they're trying to pull you up. They're trying to shorten the zones and pull you out quicker to be able to get these different zones filled.
What was the name of that mall? Is you what?
No, University Town Center is where the mall
The
is.
UTC Mall, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the UTC Mall, for those that don't know, I believe there's Brio over there. There's like some high end. It's like I think they have a lot of high. Is Cheesecake Factory over there?
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory's over there.
Yeah,
There's a bunch. There's
yeah,
the Target and all that stuff. It's
yeah.
huge. You've got the mall, and then you've got about 4 shopping plazas
Oh yeah,
around the mall too. So it's
yeah.
a whole massive complex now.
So looking at these zones, to be honest with you, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how I feel about it. Mainly because of my experience in my area. I don't know if they would expand this into other cities, or is this just it is a pilot that they're running right now, but do you like it versus the other way, or do you prefer this, or you prefer the other way?
It's still early. I'm kind of enjoying it, but in some ways, like say if I'm dashing back down where I live, I don't like it as much because you'll have a lot of people that already would typically have ordered outside of this new zone setup. And now at this point, they're definitely ordering outside of that zone. So you're pretty much in no man's land with being able to get an offer.